Well, David, that's the first pre-season game out of the way and done and dusted. How are you feeling?
Yeah, look, these games are always about just getting minutes back on the pitch, bit of pitch geography, getting them used to being where they probably should be, even if they're 3 or 4 yards where they shouldn't be. Starting to get them relationships built up between players. You know, I look at this time last year. I think we had 6 trialists. We had 5 in the treatment room. We've got no trialists because we don't need any. We've got only 1 in Jason, which is obviously all the planned stuff from early on in the summer. So we're in much better shape. I thought it was a really competitive first game. And there was glimpses, and I said the same thing last year. What we work on is the them things that come out. And there was. Not often, but there was. There was plenty of things to work on. But I'm not going to be berating anyone for not doing anything at this stage, because it's just about, they've had a really tough, long, hard week, the players. It's the hardest week of the season, and this is probably the easiest day they'll have of the whole week. So getting through it with no injuries is a positive. Because Chaz is fine, the bang on the leg and he's fine, pins and needles and all the rest of it. So yeah, it's a positive. Forget the result. We could have lost 1-0. It doesn't matter. I know that when I said that at York and South Shields last year, that everyone thought I was absolutely nuts. But it's not about the results. It's about building a team and building relationships on a pitch and understanding, and staying injury free. And we've started that process today.
Town fans that were here saw the new signings. How do you feel? We saw glimpses of what they can do.
Exactly. I think every one of the new players showed something while we brought them to the football club. I thought Jamie Walker was just on a different level for the whole half. But, Reece was good, his little moves inside and stuff, and Justin did a bit in the first half, and getting his shot away was excellent. So Zach was, some of the movements he does, and once we find them and understand him a bit more, he'll become a really good player. And obviously Jaden was what you'd expect for a fairly well-established player at a higher level, and and Jays has had 2 really good chances and showed glimpses of what he can do. So I think all in all, like I say, a really pleasing afternoon. But it's the start of certainly a 6-week journey, but a 10-month journey.
And Danny Rose just carrying on from where he left off, takes his goals really well, doesn't he? And
yeah, look, he runs in behind and he scores goals. So first of many, we hope, this season.
Tuesday night, will that be a different game in some respects because we've got the first game out of the way?
Not really. Not from my point of view. It's very much, like I say, getting them principles into players, understanding what they do, what they don't do, how they go about it, and then giving them the belief that they can do it. The good thing is we've got a core group of players that that understand that, and it's getting back up to speed with that with new players, but also taking that even further. And like I said, this time last year I think we had 8 fit players and 5 in the treatment room. So where we're at the minute, we've got to make sure we stay ahead of that curve, not just come August the 2nd, but all the way through the season. So we're constantly beyond where we need to be, and that's the challenge for us all.
And do you expect a step up in performance in each pre-season game as it goes along?
Yeah, but not necessarily in results, because that's not the focus. I expect them to get better at certain things and things that we've worked on, so that they all come together. That's the idea of playing these friendlies. We've definitely got things to work on. We know that. That's the same if you ask any team, any manager, after the first game of pre-season, they'll say they've got plenty to work on, and so have we, and that won't change. The lads have come back well, really good. Like I said, they've had a tough week, and we're hopeful that we'll build quicker and further than we did at every point last year. So we're further ahead in our sort of team play. Come the first game of the season, and you know, and that continues throughout the season really.
Cheers, David. Thank you.
Thank you.